In the heart of Peshawar, a city where ancient walls whispered tales of time, lived a young boy named Sajid. At just 13, the weight on his small shoulders was far heavier than any school bag. He lived with his grandmother in a tiny rented room, tucked away behind a bustling market that hummed with life day and night. The constant sounds of bargaining and rumbling cartwheels were the soundtrack to his world. Every single morning, before the sun was fully awake, Sajid would pick up his wooden box. Inside, it held the tools of his trade, polishing brushes and tins of shoe polish. He would find a spot near the market's entrance and, with a soft voice, offer his services to the stream of people passing by. His calls were often met with silence. Some people would ignore him completely, others would scold him for being in the way. But then there were the kind ones, the ones who would smile and hand over their dusty shoes, offering a moment of connection. Each coin Sajid earned was a small victory. He would carefully wrap it in a piece of cloth, a precious treasure saved for their daily food and the rent that kept a roof over their heads. Sajid's parents were taken by illness years ago, leaving his grandmother as his only family, his only anchor. Despite her own frail health, she was a pillar of strength for him. She never failed to remind Sajid of two things that cost nothing but were worth everything: honesty and prayer. Every morning, before he left for his spot at the market, Sajid would touch her feet, a gesture of deep respect, asking for her blessings and promising to return home safely before sunset. Even though his days were filled with work, Sajid's heart yearned for something more. It belonged to the world of school, a world he could only glimpse from the outside. In the evenings, after his work was done, he would often stand outside a nearby government school. Through the open windows, the sounds of lessons would drift out, and Sajid would listen intently, like a thirsty traveler finding an oasis. He memorized words just by hearing them, repeating them under his breath as he made his way home through the dimly lit streets. His biggest dream wasn't grand or complicated. It was simple: to sit inside one of those classrooms, holding a pen in his hand instead of a polishing brush. One afternoon, a kind-faced schoolteacher was walking through the market when he noticed something unusual. He saw Sajid, a young boy, polishing a customer's shoes, all while quietly reciting multiplication tables to himself. The teacher was surprised and deeply impressed. He stopped to talk to Sajid, learning about his life and his hidden passion for learning. Curious and moved by the boy's story, the teacher later visited Sajid's humble home to speak with his grandmother. That single conversation set in motion a chain of kindness. The teacher reached out to a local charity, sharing Sajid's story. Together, they arranged for Sajid to be admitted to a night school, a place where children who worked during the day could still chase their educational dreams. The first day, Sajid put on a school uniform. It was worn and faded, but to him, it was the most beautiful garment in the world. As he sat on a simple wooden bench under the gentle flicker of a single light bulb, his eyes filled with tears of joy. He looked around at the other students, at the blackboard, at the teacher writing, and a powerful realization washed over him. He understood that poverty could create obstacles, it could slow down dreams, but it could never ever stop them. That night, as Sajid walked home through the quiet streets of Peshawar, he wasn't just carrying his shoebox, he was carrying something much lighter, yet infinitely more powerful. He was carrying hope. And for the first time in a long time, he was smiling. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content that celebrates the strength of the human spirit. We'll see you in the next one.